We're taking it from nature. What does it mean from nature? Because we look at nature and we see that nature is round, it's integral, all of its parts are interconnected, where all of nature that we see is like one body. Like our body that has all its parts, different systems which are all interconnected, and if they're interconnected in a good and a nice way, the body's healthy. And the same way we see that all of nature is complete. We want to take this example. And also we that are inside nature, inside this bubble, we're not something separate outside of our universe, but we exist inside it. And we also want to be as a group which is homogeneous, that is interconnected with all of nature according to that very law of friendship, reciprocity, connection, participation. And this is how we take ourselves and come to it. But we see that by this we're going against our corporeal nature, meaning our nature wants to develop in a certain direction. Yes, we're taking our ideology, which is opposite to our body, to our nature. Where will we take the strength to be united from as one body, all of us together, our group that gathered around Abraham? Where will we take it from? We'll take it as a result of wanting to come closer to that force that unites all of nature. All of nature, which is behaving according to one integral system, there is one force working, operating in it, connecting all of nature together, and out of our effort to be like it, we'll pull it on ourselves, and this force will turn us into that very same system as the one that sustains all of nature. And if we'll try to be like it, it'll influence us and we'll be nicely connected with nature. We'll be in equivalence of form with it. That's it. This is the ideology that the people of Israel have. And therefore it is the only nation which has an ideology that on the one hand it's the ideology which is opposite, counter to the corporeal nature, and therefore it's unique and called an ideology, and not simply corporeal inclinations, how to better gain from different things, from trade, from different actions, that it's not an ideology, but it's calculation, let's call it, what's more or less beneficial. An ideology has to be on a higher level, where we're headed in our development. And therefore, if we see that all of nature eventually will develop us into a state where we won't be as an alien body in its humanity and comprehensive nature in this general system, like a cancer in the general body, therefore we're taking this ideology, meaning it's not something delusional, it's not that we came and this is what we wanted to do, but we saw why is it worthwhile doing and why is it worthwhile advancing towards this state ourselves before nature pushes us towards it necessarily. Meaning it's the first time and the only time in history that we can advance before nature forces us to, and therefore it's ours, and therefore we're the ones advancing. It's not that nature is forcing us to advance towards that, and that's why it's really ideology. And meaning that love thy friend as thyself in a total way, totally, where we decide that this is the direction of our development. It is truly the only ideology that is called ideology, meaning a targeted development above human life in order to reach a more exalted life. And this is how we live. Okay. I want to ask you, because from what you've described, and you described it beautifully, is really maybe the only existing ideology. Yeah, for sure the only existing ideology. Now, opposite that, if I look at the Islam, then they really have a strong goal. That goal gives them a lot of strength. Yeah, but it's in the framework of this world. It's an egoistic ideology, meaning on the realm of this world, how to subdue everyone under their opinion. What happens when these two ideologies, suppose this ideology you just described, will succeed in realizing it? What will happen when this ideology will meet, suppose, the kind of the Muslim ideology, the ideology of the Islam? It's very clear to me what's happening, because all of these ideologies, if we can call it an ideology, both of Islam and Christianity, they also have a root from that same place, from ancient Babylon, from where the Israeli ideology came from. Because the ideology of Islam comes from Ishmael, Christian ideology comes from Esav, and it all comes from the same place, from Abraham, and therefore I have no problem with it. I can only say that these two ideologies, they are on the level of this world, and this world only, and they don't have a goal of changing the person, of changing the person to bring him to an opposite level to which he is in right now, from egoist to altruist, from a bad desire, the evil inclination, to the good desire of connection and love, from hatred of others to love of others. No ideology, no method in the world, even though that everyone wants to clothe in it and say that this is who they are. Not only that they don't have a method, a goal, but they don't have a means of how to realize it. They don't. And therefore we see that it doesn't exist. You can say, and what, the Jews do keep it? No, they don't, because they're in shattering.